Now in this video I want to focus on contrast and edges. And in this particular scene it's a storm building up over the mountains. This is in the Tetons in Wyoming. And you get a lot of variety of edges as the mountains recede back into the clouds. And then as things gradually come forward, the edges get harder until I want the hardest edges, and I can decide where they are right in here, and also the most contrast. Most contrast I want, I could have it here, which is a little further back, or maybe over here. But I really want to focus on those things. Make sure I decide where the darkest darks are. I don't want the darkest dark over here or somewhere back in the mountains. It's going to be in here, and then the lightest light can be somewhere around there also. And when we talk about the lightest light, it's, I might have a small highlight on a tree that's a bit lighter, but a larger shape that's the lightest light, like the field back here in the grass, or maybe this field in front, or maybe the clouds in the distance in there. And it doesn't have to be the lightest, but it's lighter. Sometimes I'll always make maybe the clouds that are hit by the sunlight the lightest, because that's the light source. But aside from that, I want to make sure there's the concentration of darkest dark and pretty light lights are right around in here. So if I think compositionally, this is a very long composition. I've already cropped it. It was more square, and I'm thinking in terms of the long range of the mountains. The Tetons here are a very long range, and the range of the trees in the sunlight. So it's more of a longer composition. There's nothing really tall that makes me want to go vertical or square or even rectangle. I mean, obviously the mountains are tall, but in this photograph they're not. They're more spread out horizontally than they are vertically. Same thing with the trees, spread out horizontally. So I want to stick with a more horizontal picture or size of canvas, and it also gives you a variety of size. If everything you paint's a rectangle, 9 by 12, 11 by 14, 8 by 10, there's kind of a sameness to the composition, but when you can stretch it out a little bit, it makes it a little bit easier. Now or a little bit more variety. I can zoom in and make it more of a rectangle. Pull back here. And there we have more of a rectangle. I can push this around. I can raise up the horizon line pretty high to where the water and the trees become more important, or lower it to where the sky and the mountain becomes more important. So think through those things. The shape of the composition. And then we're not really talking size here, because size is going to be small. Like I'll probably do this 8 by 13, or I can do it 6 by 12. Those are long compositions. I don't have to do it big just because it's long. So that's a pretty good composition too, but again we're getting more rectangular, and I want to focus compositionally on the long horizontal feel of the mountains and the horizontal feel of the trees. So I see this as a horizontal composition, and that's what we'll go with.